Hey guys, so today is Transformation Tuesday. Woo! So you can see my reflection of the light there. Okay, so I will be putting up some before pictures of back when I first started all of this, which was in February, and then pictures that I took yesterday, and then also my before weight and my current weight. So I'll be posting all of that on my page, but I also wanted to make a video, and this video is going to be about consistency and vices and rewards, because I think they kind of all go together. So first I'm going to talk about consistency. So you'll see in my before weight, so I started this February 6th, and that's when I took my first weight, and I weighed 156, and yesterday I weighed 146, and some people are like, oh, good job, you lost 10 pounds and stuff like that, and I mean, it's good, it's progress, any progress is good progress. So the last thing I want you to take away from this is oh, I only lost 10 pounds, it means nothing. No, that's not at all what I'm saying. And somebody that I was talking to, some of my friends that are in this with me, somebody said, that's a great accomplishment, and my reply was, it's an okay accomplishment. And the reason for that is because I haven't been consistent for that entire 3 months. It's been pretty much exactly 3 months, and I haven't been consistent. I have done better. I have worked out most days. I have eaten healthy probably 60% of the time, which is obviously better than it was before. Before I wasn't really working out at all. I was working out maybe a couple times a week, if that. And I was eating unhealthy definitely more often than I was eating healthy. So it's progress. Sure, it is an accomplishment, yes. And it is good, yes. But it could be better. And for some of you, you're like, well, that's okay, it takes time. It does take time. But my point is when you are completely consistent, the results can be much better. And that's what I'm going to, obviously there's not much I can say about it now, because for the last 3 months I haven't been totally 100% consistent. But for the next 3 months, so I'm going to use the same amount of time, and I'm going to be completely consistent every single day, work out every single day, eat healthy every single day for every single meal. And then we'll look at the difference. I know that this is a big struggle for people, because when you're not consistent, you feel like you're being healthier, and you are, but you're expecting these great results that can only come from being consistent 100% of the time. Okay, you can't expect to have the body of someone who's in a bikini competition if you eat healthy 4 days a week and work out 4 days a week, and then you skip a whole week, and then you know what I mean? Like, you can't expect those results when you're not putting in that kind of work. So that's thing number one that I wanted to talk about, and that's something that some people don't think about. Like, I have a friend, she's like, I've been eating healthier, but I'm just not really, I've lost a little bit of weight, but it's been so long, it's been 6 months, and I've hardly lost anything. And then I spent some time with her and watched her eating habits, and I was with her for about 4 or 5 days, and not once during that time did she work out, nor did she eat healthy. And that's okay. I'm not putting anyone down for that. But what I am saying is, if those are your habits, then you can't expect the habits of someone who is being consistent every single day. And that's just something really hard for people to think about, because it is hard to be consistent like that every single day. So you are healthy more often, and you are working out more often, and so you're expecting these great results. But consistency is key, and it's very important. So with that being said, I know one thing that's hard for people in being consistent is giving themselves passes. Like, oh, I went to Disney World for a week with my kids, and you know what? It's okay. Like, this is family vacation, and like, I'm gonna have fun and just eat, and it'll, 1 week isn't gonna kill me. It's not gonna kill you, but it's also not gonna give you the results that you're hoping for. And that's something that we do a lot. I think that we use food as a reward or as something to help us when we're stressed out. Like, you say, you know what, this week has been a super rough week at work, and I'm craving a cheeseburger, and it's okay. Like, I can have one cheeseburger, and that is fine. And I'm not here to tell you, like, that you can't have cheeseburgers. Like, whatever, do you. But what I am here to say is that if you truly want to live a healthy life, I'm not talking about what you want your body to look like or what weight you want to be or what measurements you want, because none of that matters. Your measurements don't mean anything. Your weight doesn't mean anything. And none of that means anything. What really matters is what you want for your health. Do you want to be someone who's healthy 50% of the time, 80% of the time, or 100% of the time? That's what you have to decide. And for me, I'm the kind of person who I want to be healthy 100% of the time. And I want my vices, the things that I turn to when I'm stressed out, to be healthy things. I want my rewards. Okay, you do not want to be like, oh, I just worked so hard. I lost 15 pounds. I reached my first goal, which was 15 pounds. And so now I'm going to reward myself today with this one unhealthy meal. When you turn unhealthy food or unhealthy habits into a reward, that is kind of like a meth addict saying, well, I've been clean for 3 months, so I'm going to smoke meth just this one time. Like, it's not an effective reward system, okay? Because that means that your body is still craving those things. And that should be your goal, is for you to stop craving those things. So you need to replace your rewards with things like, for example, for me, sometimes when I'm like, you know what, this was a good week. Like, I did good. I deserve a pat on the back. And not just with working out, but just with like getting things accomplished during the week or whatever. Or maybe you're reaching a goal in my business, things like that. And so I'll do things like, you think of things that you really like to do. And a lot of times your rewards and your vices, and vices like things that you do when you're stressed out, should be able to interchange. So if I'm stressed out, then sometimes I'll take a moment and I'll be like, okay, I am just stressing out right now. I need to just take a moment for myself. Or maybe this was a really stressful week. And then I do something like go to Ellen's YouTube channel and I watch like 20 minutes of clips from Ellen. Let me tell you, if you are stressed out, watching Ellen for 5 seconds will cheer you up. I like to read. Reading kind of like gets your mind off of other things and lets you be in this like little fantasy world for a little bit. So reading is really good. Singing. I like to sing. Singing makes me feel good. Hanging out with my kids, hanging out with my animals, just going outside and getting some sun and fresh air. Those are all things that you can do to help you release stress and also to give yourself a reward. They should be able to interchange. And so when you do those things, instead of rewarding yourself with food should be neutral. Food should not be a punishment. Food should not be a reward, because when you use those things for punishments and rewards, first of all, you're a grown adult, okay? Punishment should not be in your vocabulary. You do not need to punish yourself. The only time as an adult you need to be punished is if you're doing something illegal, and the law will take care of it and you'll go to jail. You should not punish yourself, okay? You shouldn't be doing anything that you need punishing for. And so take punishment out of your vocabulary. If you do mess up and have a unhealthy meal, or you give in to something like that, you don't need to be punished. It's just a fact. It's you ate an unhealthy meal. Okay, keep going. Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't do any of those things. Just keep going. Okay, like if you wake up in the morning and one of your friends wants you to go eat breakfast with them, and you're like, okay, cool, I'll go eat breakfast, and there's nothing healthy on the menu, so you end up eating like all this fatty like sausage and things like that, then you don't be like, well, I already screwed today up, so now I'm just not going to eat healthy for the rest of the day. That's kind of like dropping your cell phone on the ground and then beating it with a hammer because you're like, well, I already dropped it, might as well finish the job. Like, you can't, if you do something like that, then just, you did it, okay, keep going. Just keep going and make the next minute a better choice, okay? So basically, in conclusion, stay consistent and don't use food as reward. And if you want to stay consistent, then you do need to make it a goal to not eat those unhealthy things basically ever. Because I promise you that if you go 3 months without eating junk food like chips or basically anything other than this whole foods that you're making at home that are part of a healthy eating plan, like the 21-day fix, or any of the Beachbody eating plans, because that's basically what they all are. So if you're eating something other than that, then, and you do that for 3 months, even if you do it for a month, but especially if you do it for 3 months, that's what I have found the magic number to be. After 3 months of not eating that stuff, and then go eat a cheeseburger and tell me how it is, I can almost guarantee that you will want to throw up afterwards, because it will make you feel terrible. And the amount of sodium that is in those kind of foods is so much sodium. So when your body is not, when you would finally adjust to not having that much sodium, then you take that bite and it'll be kind of like licking a salt block, and it will just be gross to you. I'm not there yet. I have been eating unhealthy for, on and off for the last 3 months. So I'm not there. Now, I'm not going and getting giant cheeseburgers or anything. But that's just what you kind of have to like condition yourself to do, because later on down the road, if like what I'm talking about, using vices. So you had a stressful week. Okay, you had a stressful week. So you go and you get something unhealthy because that makes you feel better. Okay, cool. That one unhealthy meal wasn't that big of a deal, made you feel better. Great. Now, take it a step further. What if something big happens? What if a family member passes away? What if there's some devastating, what if your spouse or you lose a job and it's very financially devastating, long-term stress? And so now what? So now are you going to eat healthy, unhealthy every single day until that stress is gone? So that's why you have to find different vices. Food should not be your vice. And and then the same thing for rewards. I think a really good tip that I've learned for stressing out is asking yourself the timeline rule. So so something happens, and then you have to ask yourself, okay, is this going to matter in 10 years? Probably not. Is this going to matter in 5 years? Is this going to matter in 3 years? Is this going to matter in a year? Is this going to matter in 6 months? Is this going to matter next week? And so you just kind of go through that timeline, and that kind of puts it into perspective for you. So something that you're like, oh my gosh, this is stressing me out. And then you think like, is this really going to matter next week? Probably not. And then that kind of helps you calm down and be like, okay, it's a little sucky right in this moment, but it's going to be over. So let me just do something. Let me watch something funny. Let me hang out with my kids for a bit. Let me do something that's going to take my mind off of that so I can refocus myself. And those things are really helpful to me. Now, applying them all the time is obviously more difficult. Most things are easier said than done. But that is basically what what I wanted to make this video for, is to commit that to you, saying the next 3 months, and obviously it's going to go further than that, but after the 3 months, then I'm going to officially check in. I'll probably check in monthly, but once I hit the 3-month mark, I'll do kind of like a longer video like this one and see where I'm at, how it went, and things like that. But yeah, so that's all I have to say for now, and I'll see you guys later. And I'll post those, my before pictures and progress pictures, on my page, so look out for this.